Today, we get to focus on 3 hacks to unlock your LinkedIn. Did you know that 20 to 30% reach, there's 30% reach on LinkedIn? This is for content, while Facebook is 6% or less. I've even heard 1 or 2%. Because you gotta pay Mr. Zucker if you want people to see your stuff. It seems like on Meta products, but there's a little bit bigger reach on LinkedIn, so that's a plus. Did you know that LinkedIn actually has over 1 billion users now? I think Facebook is closer to 3 billion or like 2.5 billion, somewhere in there. But LinkedIn quickly is continuing to grow, essentially. Did you know 45% of internet users making over $75,000 per year are actually using LinkedIn? So if you're selling high ticket and you want to connect with that have money and solve their problems so they pay you money, good data, there's good leads on LinkedIn. Did you know 4 out of every 5 LinkedIn influences a buying decision in their company? You're looking to decision makers, want to close deals. LinkedIn, obviously a very heavy B2B platform. These are some of the pros for LinkedIn. And so to unlock this, I'd like to share with you 3 hacks. It's the 3 Ps. We've got profile, post, and performance, and how this all ties in with your FlowChat account. So with profile, hopefully some of you are very familiar with setting up amazing profiles, or you've seen a couple of videos here and there. We're gonna go over the fundamentals because that's what wins championships, our fundamentals. But hopefully there's a couple little things here that you haven't heard before that will be useful. So, back to Dylan, don't know him, but per his headline, per how he set everything up, I'm going to be the guinea pig for today. Hey, who am I? I am a B2B SaaS tech founder. So if I'm looking out, to my B2B SaaS company, who am I going to find? Well, I found Dylan very easily because of how well he set everything up. And the filter and the frame that I'm setting, hopefully all of you are looking at this through, hey, who is my ICP, my ideal customer profile? And what do I need to say and how do I need to look where they're just naturally looking for answers and they happen to find me? If you follow the that I'm sharing, that screenshots I have prepared for you guys today, like Mr. Dylan has, you too will be amongst the top in the search. So look, drive sales pipeline and revenue for a B2B SaaS. Man, if that doesn't make my heart feel all warm and fuzzy, I don't know what will. So great headline. He's giving a result. He's talking about what he does and who he does it for in a really concise way. So obviously that is a prime setup. It's the first thing you see. It's kind of like the billboard of your profile. Now the picture on a scale, just curious, you guys can raise your hand. I can see all your face. Well, most of your faces. Or you put in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 5, I have Chris, the best freaking profile picture the world has ever seen, and 1 being like it's just really bad. How do you rate your current profile picture on LinkedIn or other social media profiles? We got 2.5 from Lorenzo. Thank you, sir, for sharing. I'm curious to hear what you got. We got a 3 from Tessie. Okay. 4 JC. Okay. 7. Got a 7, 1 out of 5. He loves his profile picture. Not gonna lie, if it's the same one you have in Zoom, background color, little highlight action, that's good. Yeah, out of 5. Okay, then okay. Nice. Right. What is a good profile picture? Well, per the people that I've researched and looked at and data that I've seen, having your face front and center, looking very personable. There's actually a cool tool. There's a bunch of them. You can just Google it. That like your in terms of relatability, trustability, these can be really helpful to where they have data to objectively evaluate how trustworthy this be. Anyway, that all said, those can be helpful. Starts with your face. Having a solid color generally in the background to help things pop is good. Mine currently, like I've my face black and white, and I have the colors of FlowChat in the background. So it's subtly branded, you could say. These are some best practices that you can apply to your profile to help it stand out. Another thing that's really helpful from perspective wise is think about where is the profile seen? It's seen as the little bubble, like right, have like more people on the bottom. look at this guy's stuff. Maybe it's Seth. He's got kind of yellow in the background compared to the one that doesn't have a solid color in the background. It's a little bit harder to see that gray, but that yellow is going to stand out on a white background and also a dark background. So if people are consuming social or on social in dark mode, then having a color that pops in both a white and dark environment is another pro tip. Is this helpful? I know we're kind of obsessing over this, but you realize, like, and as man, I almost feel bad a little bit. I should have like taken it more seriously sooner. But this is our sales page. This is today's business card, not just on LinkedIn, but on all our profiles. And people, in a matter of seconds, literally seconds of just glancing over things, the imagery, the colors, the layout, if it's too crowded and hard to read and understand, will immediately put you in, I would do business with this person, or I'm not, I don't even want any more of whatever this person has to say, bucket. It happens in seconds. And if we're, hey, just a pro tip here, if we're spending hours of our life every single day, tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to grow our business, we're sacrificing time away from our families and our relationships and everything, man. And if all we have to do is just fix a picture, think a little more intelligence and creativity with our banner, is it worth it? Hopefully I'm selling somebody here, right? At least the 2.5s and the 3s. 4s, maybe you're a little off the hook here. Okay, all right, let's keep flowing. Room for improvement. And man, if you can get another 10-20% conversion of sales for free, dude, I'm all about that, right? Which is why we're going over this. So hopefully I can continue to hold attention on things that are so important. Hey, check out the name here. This is really big in the title. The title also needs, think terms that people are searching for. So B2B SaaS, or SaaS marketing in my case, or SaaS sales, SaaS lead generation, SaaS growth. Like, these are going to be terms that I might type in LinkedIn, and we want to include that in the title so that it's search engine optimized within the platform. You guys with me on that? Just curious, you guys can share in the chat. Do you currently, like, when people want problem that you solve, what words do they use? Number one, do you know the words they use? At least the top 5 words and they're using to type in. And are those words currently in your bio, in your profile? Yes or no? You guys can type in yes or no in the chat. Let me know. I know when and ironically, I did an interview yesterday. I was interviewing somebody for the FlowChat Spotlight, and they're so good at Instagram. And we'll have to do another one of these breakdown. Would you guys like to see a breakdown of Instagram? There are some really cool hacks that they dropped. I'm like, how have I never heard of these things? We've been on social for so long. Yes, on Travis' profile. Okay, yes. So the search engine thing she was hitting on really hard. And I was like, all of the words I'm using are more of like a brand feel, which can be okay. But people don't care about me and my story as much as they do their problem, or at least their problem first. And then knowing that I'm somebody that maybe aligns with their values makes them more trust me more and then want to do business. But it's important to know that that's the psychological order. You guys with me on this? Okay, other sections are lighter, but I'm spending more time here because if you win here, you will get more sales. Your bank account and you will thank me. And I'm going to be making changes myself, which is partly why I'm highlighting somebody else's profile and not mine, because I need to make some updates. All right. Notice this on the bottom, last tip here. Can you guys see this on the bottom? It says visit my website. I have a website in the bio, but having at least, I mean, or just here, like the button here, it was recommended. Okay, let's keep flowing. Here's the next one. The feature section. You guys are familiar with the feature section, yeah? Now, not just any features. There's 3 specific ones in a specific order. Notice what the first one is. What stands out to you in the first thing right away? You guys can type it in the chat. I'm just curious. What grabs your eye in the first feature article? This is market, and everyone else can see what people say. In the first featured article, what jumps out at you? You guys can share it in the chat. Bullseye graphic, red book a call button. Okay, those are a couple answers. Color, awesome. First thing that grabs me, I would have to be with you, Jen, is the color. And that orange color. which happens to be what you're saying, Lorenzo, the book a call. Interesting. The first thing you see is book a call. What's the one result they want on the sales page? They're optimizing for book a call. If yours is different, if it's go to the workshop, download the PDF, then make that the post and make that the most easy to see button, inviting people into that. You guys with me on that? Like if you hear me say one thing today, that can make you so much money right there. Okay, now he has some text to kind of break it down and schedule, call. That's great. The second one is a resource. Hey, book a call, let's talk more. Second one is here's our PDF. Here's our guide to help solve a complete problem within your business that you're probably facing. And I made it so good that just by consuming this, you can't help but think, what else can they help me with? That's the feeling that needs to take place with the lead magnet that we provide to our customers, our prospects at this point. Okay, third is what? Check out the site. Also, which is bringing them specifically to the case studies on the site. So, hey, proven success. This is designed, it's easy to communicate. I know my next steps, and I can further, built through testimonial. Really good use of space here. If you guys familiar with John Wooden, the basketball coach, UCLA, is won the most titles like ever. You know what he focused on with his? Do you guys remember any of this? You can put it in the chat. Some of the fundamentals, like the thing that he would do in the beginning of the season with his players? I have a crazy good image. Okay, awesome. So you're dialed in. I'm just curious if anyone knows John Wooden. He won the most championships. He sits his players down each year, and what's the first thing he does? The best he can be every day. You guys, okay, so it's awesome. Attention to basics. Okay, that is a true statement. Here's one specific basic that he goes over: putting on their socks, tying their shoes. The coach that wins the most championships, day one. All right, get out your socks, boys. I think that's hilarious. And then let's talk about tying your shoes. But the essence and the wisdom of this is amazing. And we're doing the same thing right now. And I've applied this in my marriage. We celebrate 11 years this month. And apply this to my family. I've got 3 kids. I apply this to my business partnerships. I apply this to any business that I've built, bootstrapped, like the basics in doing them well. Socks clean, or, on a certain way. When you put your shoes on, do you just tie them? Do you double knot them? How tight should they be? How loose should they be? It's focusing on the basics, because when the pressure is on and you slip when you're driving the lane, or you're about to take the shot, but you slip, you don't want to lose because of the basics. These are the basics. And the reality is, at least maybe not for everyone here today, right? But most people's profiles, they're not even making it to the playoffs because the basics just aren't even close, because they're too busy. There's too much going on. Listen, you always have plenty of time to nail the basics. And here's another one we can apply. Look at this: experience. Everyone's got their experience listed. Yes. Does anyone have a listed case study or like a list of credibility in their experience? I didn't. I was like, oh, dang it. That's another missed opportunity, right? And another touch point. Look at this. If you saw someone that was CEO and was just like, okay, there's the title. Okay, cool. That's coming on. But if you saw, oh, dang, they've helped 50 plus leading SaaS brands, such as massive ones that I know of, and they've also recent 250% growth in trial conversions. Oh, I was just thinking about trials. Maybe they can help me with trials. You see what I'm saying? This is the mind of our customer and the thoughts they're not having unless we have this here. You guys following? Okay. I was getting excited about some of this. I was like, oh, I bet they're going to love this today. All right, look at the about section. There's, not going to lie, there's a lot of words here. Have you guys seen the J.R. Tolkien novels in the about section? Have you come across those? Is in the mood for heavy when you're evaluating a profile, looking at the about section? Yeah, I nothing. Now, this one I'll say is probably on maybe the longer side, but look at the use of white space. I can comb through this still pretty quick. He's got 3 section of lists. And even the first thing right away, there are only 2 ways. Okay, 2. So it's okay, I don't know if I'm going to read this whole thing, but okay, what are the first 2, right? Here's an awesome pro tip, not just for the about section, but for all of your content. Hold your hand up to the screen real quick. You can do this. Hold your hand up to the screen and only look at the cover, except for the first line of the about section. And you'll read, there are only 2 ways to increase revenue and pipeline for your B2B SaaS. Okay, now ask yourself, am I interested enough to keep reading, yes or no? And if the answer is yes, you have your right hook. And you go down just one or two more lines. Read those texts. After reading that, do you find yourself feeling like you want to read more? Yes or no? You want to have at least two solid hooks in any piece of content you put out there. And if the first one doesn't get you wanting to read the second, and the second doesn't get you reading to want more of the article, start over. Like focus on those two. You need a double hook in order to really draw people in. And the about section in any piece of content is no different. All right. Okay, cool. The main thing on the about section is just include some stories, include some processes, put them in list form so it's easy to consume, and understand that you are knowledgeable and the best at this topic. It's a chance to build authority. You guys ready for posts? All right, cool. And then I'm going to show you some really cool stuff in just a bit with how to automate some of this with FlowChat. Okay, so we're going to be going over this particular post. Now, this is called a two-step post or a value post. And there's probably who knows how many other names to it, but we'll zoom in here towards the top. There's three main sections I want you to see. Hopefully these are somewhat familiar. Here's the top. Want this conversion flow template? Cool. So I know exactly what I'm getting with just a question. Keep swiping and you'll find it. So he's telling me what to do. Cool. I know what it is, how to get it. Very clear. And then he starts getting into a story. In my experience, one of the biggest levers are, and he explains. Okay, so second line, it passes that we just talked about. The next section in the mid section, and what is the point of the first section? Is the hook. It's to grab attention. All right, cool. Second section, we need to deliver. We're delivering with the list. It's easy to consume. Specifically, I think they call them listicles. I don't know. Just the name sounds a little off to me, but I get what they're saying. It's easy to consume. So that's kind of a great trend right now, is having lists for people so you can get what you want in a shorter period of time. So in order to do that, you need to analyze it from the start. Okay, measure the signups, look at the purchase process. Okay, so what I need to do. Cool. Here's some techniques you can immediately apply. Look at he space those out a little bit more. So this is on hooks are right away, which is great. And hey, if you're liking this and you want more, you know, CTAs and streamline, reduce friction, like if you want to do these things, just comment template. That's the call to action on LinkedIn. Comment template. Obviously, this is very common on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, except X is like, like so oops, what do they say? Like, retweet, 3 jumping jacks, follow me. I don't know. It's like, it's a ton. Anyway, then we're just commenting. Okay. Now, this is simply what it looks like. Someone comments template, hey, and obviously respond to him. My one critique of this is I would click like comment. That shows more engagement on the post, and I'll send it over. Now, it looks like he's manually doing this. Maybe he's using some other tool I don't know about, but and by FlowChat, go to Instagram in your extension, Flow extension, and go to the bottom. Notice it says auto reply to comments. Is anyone using this feature? Now, when you have this post and they're looking at your profile being like, dang, you go from here 0 to hero, and trust is built and they're commenting, you can auto reply to them within 5 seconds, a second, 2 minutes, whatever time you assign. But they're going to save you a bunch of time and still help getting those touch points and the nurturing in an automated way, which is really cool. Notice when you turn that on, you'll see auto reply to comments on your LinkedIn posts. You're going to see it natively on the platform. You simply click the button and you guys can see this. This is the menu that would pop up, and you can type in, you know, right here where it says add text variation. So you're saying like, hey, thanks. You don't say the same thing every single time for every single comment. You can type up to 5 different variations and it will alternate between the two. So it looks more organic, and it'll only happen if you look in this section right here, when they reply a certain keyword. You can say, when they say this word for this post, you know, comments like this. Okay, cool. And look at, check this out. You can like the comments after replying as well. So this is what you can do with FlowChat on this specific type of post. This is just one example. There's doing case studies for posts. Sharing scenes are often really powerful. There's all different types of formats. Lastly, today we have performance. Is anyone using custom reports in FlowChat? If not, like, do the day. It'll take maybe 2 minutes, and it just all automatically. You set it up once and you get to see the results. You can see this is one of the LinkedIn pipelines we have running, and it's tracking the results. Hey, we sent almost 1,200 messages. We've gotten 77 responses, 34% response rate, which is great. We can track these KPIs. Here's the main ones that you're going to want for most pipelines. Number one, how many messages do we send? Just simple, right? If we're only sending 2 messages, we got to crank it up a little bit. We're missing a lot of opportunity. That are sent. How many booking links? How many opportunities do we have for somebody to book a call with us? Now, check this out. Chris, I'm not trying to do a book call. No worries. Like, how many podcast invites did you send? How many invite, to your webinar, to your masterclass, to your training did you send? Whatever your call to action is, how many of the links did you send? The next one is how many people attended, or how many people completed the call, or how many people downloaded the thing. That's the next KPI. And the last one is, out of all the people that did that, how many actually bought? The big one that we want to this is revenue, right? All right, so hopefully that's helpful. Those are the 4 main KPIs you would want to add to your custom report. This is where you go to find it if you don't currently know where it is or how to set it up. You can see reports in the upper part of left part of the screen. You would select custom pipeline reports, number 2. And then you'll go to the window that loads. You'll go to the far right-hand side, and you'll want to select the pipeline that you want to create a KPI report for. And you can see here, you'll just select the drop down, select the pipeline you want, and then number 2, hit add. And it will pull up that example that I just had with all the little blocks just a slide ago. And really it. When it's up there, you can add any additional KPIs that you want. When you click it, it goes into here. You can add numbers, you can add conversion percentages, you can add the duration, like, hey, lead, we started engaging on day 1 and they bought on day 20. Oh, it took 20 days to close the deal. So it's a 20-day sales cycle on average that we have in our sales cycle. Knowing your sales cycle duration can be really helpful. All this can be set up in these automated report section. And, they're really easy to fill out. Hey, I want to do a number on this particular stage. And this is my, sent stage, for example. You can label it whatever you'd like the KPI to be. Okay, cool. That's performance. These are 3 hacks to unlock your LinkedIn. To recap, on your profile, treat your profile like it's a sales page. Like, how are people going to feel when they're done reviewing your sales page? Is it even going to grab their attention to hang out long enough, right? Those are the questions to ask. Solve a problem, number 2, for your audience with your posts. Solve problems for them. Take a small problem in the business or a pain that they're feeling and solve the entire thing. Like, do it really, really well. So they're left feeling, whoa, if you do that this well, I wonder what else they have in their next program or their next step, right? That's how they are left feeling. And lastly, track your success. If you're not, what we inspect is what we respect, right? And what we measure is what we can improve on and actually see what's making a difference. It's really frustrating to pour yourself into something and not know if it even matters. But if you can actually see the growth, it really inspires. So your mission of the week, make at least 1 update to your profile. Maybe it's your profile picture, maybe it's your banner. Like, these are very minimal, very easy changes to make that give us, and it's free, and it gives us a ton of leverage in our business. Number 2, create 1 value post. You can even borrow the one that we shared as an example today. Just insert your lead map. And then number 3, set up a custom pipeline report if you don't already have one. Again, maybe 10 minutes total, but can at least increase sales by 10% or more and benefit your business.